tails. Ooh.
Yeah, so didn't you just, what you been doing?
Nothing. No.
Cool. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Yes. Didn't you just go to your ATP CTP?
ATP CTP at ATP Jets in Dallas.
Woo!
Yeah. Nah, it was pretty cool.
What'd y'all do? What did they, how was like the whole experience?
So your ATP CTP course is basically
ATP CTP.
yeah.
ATP CTP. It's a mouthful.
So like private pilot and commercial, like when you do your written test, you need an endorsement to go take those tests, right? This course is essentially your endorsement to go take your ATP written test. They won't let you take the test unless you have your ATP CTP done.
Gotcha.
So you have to go to a approved course, which I went to ATP Jets in Dallas. Usually if you go all of it at this, like one shot, it's 7 days and 4 days of classes, and it's a lot of crash reports, you know, and them talking about different situations and when airliners crashed, what they did wrong, how can we prevent it, kind of thing. And then the last 3 days is you doing simulator stuff, like full motion sims. Some of them are in fixed based sims too as well. You're not moving or anything like that. It was.
So did you start out in the fixed sim? What? How's that? I didn't know they did both of them.
Yeah, we should have started. So there's 5 lessons. We should have started off on 1 and 2, which is the fixed one, right? Where it doesn't move. You kind of just learn the systems, learn automation, learn what you're doing. That would make sense to start off with that one, but we didn't. We started off with the last 2 lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Which was like high altitude stalls and stalls at low altitudes, and it was kind of backward.
It was the ground portion. You said that watching videos and
the class part is just watching videos. I did the virtual thing, so I stayed at my house and watched videos with this instructor. They're all retired airline guys. So when they're in there, they're just explaining, you know, they have good insight because with these crashes, a lot of the times they were probably working at these airlines whenever it happened. So like the one crash video came up with American. The guy was like, I was actually a captain whenever that happened. I knew this guy or something. And then they had another video about like these pilots that flew the plane drunk. He was like, yeah, I flew with that guy. He sucks. I was like, oh, geez, man.
that's crazy. He actually knew the guy.
Yeah, he knew him. So it was cool, like little insight stuff about it. And I tell it to everybody. I was like, I'm weird. I like crash reports because I like knowing what happened. Yeah. I like knowing what happened. I like knowing.
Try to prevent it in the future.
And not, be the same person.
Yes.
So I like it. So all the videos I thought were great. But and then getting the feedback from the instructor was cool, but some people were not as
excited and
enthused. I guess you
about
could say.
learning about crashes.
This is some. Yeah, one guy in our class. I swear, he was like this, and I'd be watching him, just staring at him, and he's going,
"Oh, he's dozing off."
But yeah, he was like this. He was like. I was like, how is no one noticing this? He was definitely not having a great time.
One weekend was the ground.
Yeah. They do.
Sort of a weekend.
Yeah, they start on a Friday and on a Monday. For me, they did at least. They have Monday and Wednesday start days as well.
Could you go there? Because you went to Dallas.
Yeah, you could have done the full 7 days just in a row there.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to do that, you know. So I did the virtual classes and then went in person for the sims. I think the classes were really good because it's more made for flight instructors that haven't had the experience of flying at high altitudes or flying jets and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the bridge from where you are right now to where you want to be. And I learned a bunch about jets or things I didn't know about the way they operated or things that happen at altitude. So I thought it was great.
Well, some of those guys that were doing the class, teaching the class, didn't they say, well, they didn't have stuff like that?
Yeah.
So they had to learn it on their own, like through experience.
Yeah. He would come in and he would say, you know, this is how this works, but they don't teach you this. They expect you to know this already when you come in. And I was like, well, I didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad someone was telling me about it before. We did stuff like that. It was a lot of stuff like that. And then the flying part was fun. Flying part was awesome. So
what did so y'all did high altitude stalls?
the first day is supposed to be in a fixed, plane. It is a sim just like the one we have here, but it's not full motion.
Wheeze.
Sorry.
I caught it.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Like the one Wheeze got over
The ones
here.
we's have.
It's the same as the one that we have. Same as the one that we have. It doesn't move or anything like that. It's just a screen in front of you and the whole panel. And it was a CRJ for us. So it was just, learning how to use an FMS, learning how to set autopilots and use the automation, simple, how to fly a departure procedure, how to fly an arrival procedure, all that kind of stuff in the jet and setting it in the FMS. Well, that was the first two. And then the second 3 was a bunch of takeoffs and landings. So it would be like wind shear takeoffs. They would give you examples of stopping distance based off of runway conditions.
Oh yeah.
They would give you stopping conditions.
So they'd give you different, like,
Correct.
wet runway.
Correct. And they would say, like, okay, well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to do a takeoff and stop at V1. And we're going to have a wet runway and not use thrust reversers. And we're going to see how far it goes. And then we're going to have the same situation, but then we're going to use thrust reversers, and then we're going to see what happens. And it just is showing you, it's like, man, that was like 2,000 feet of a difference. So it was a lot of that. And then a lot of takeoffs, a lot of, what do you do on a takeoff if you have wind shear, this kind of thing. Then 4 and 5 are all the high altitude stalls, low altitude stalls, unusual attitudes.
Oh.
Yes. Crazy unusual attitudes. We were.
What was it? Yeah. Didn't you do a nose?
Yes.
Nose
They have
high
the
or
nose
low?
high. Well, they have the nose high. You do both. They have the nose high unusual attitude, and then they have the nose low. Well, the nose low, he put us in like 140 degrees of bank.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we had to recover from that somehow. That we both crashed or ripped the plane apart the first time, and then
The screen just goes black.
I'm assuming, I'm assuming this is it was on the sim.
yeah,
Yes,
it's on the sim and
simulator.
it goes real. Like the plane busts, and then it's like your POV of you like falling from the plane. Yeah,
Like, oh, that probably wouldn't have been fun.
yeah, they're super accurate. I mean, it's crazy. When you hit the ground, the sim even shakes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm joking. It does though, like in the plane, it does move. Like you flying the plane. So like in the unusual attitudes, it does just go black. Like you'll overspeed and break the plane apart, and it'll just go, and then the thing shuts off.
So it's not so realistic that it actually ejects you from the seat.
That would be cool though. That would be cool. Next level training there. Yeah, and those things are freaking huge, bro.
Really?
Oh my god, it's like a small house. Yeah,
Okay.
they're big.
So you
old-
walk into like it's its own building.
Yeah, essentially. It's like a bunch of them in this big warehouse, and they have stairs that you walk up on, and they all like have their own little alleys that you walk down.
Yeah. Kind of
What-
like a Disney World.
Bruh,
Something like that.
you walk
Something like
in.
that.
Well, they
you
have
walk-
like those spaceship rides that you get on, and
Yeah.
it's like a big simulator.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got this little bridge that comes out. You walk over
Yeah.
the simulator.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
It's,
Yeah, you're going like
Copyright.
Yeah. It was really cool. We got to the full motion sim was awesome. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Is that the first time you've done that?
Yeah,
That's
it was
awesome.
the first time I ever got to do it. So I thought it was fun. I don't know. I guess I was just trying to enjoy it and learn the stuff that I could
Yeah.
instead of being like that, because everybody complains about it being stupid and whatnot. And it is. I mean, yeah, should I have to do that to take my written? Probably not. But like, why go in with the attitude that it's going to be stupid when you could just go into it and try and learn something?
I get to fly planes and learn about
Yeah,
planes. Cool.
I get to go do some classes and fly a full motion sim and see how that goes. It was fun. I liked it.
what were some of the topics in the ground school? Wasn't it leadership and
Yeah. So they talked about.
Did you did you learn any acronyms?
yes.
Oh man,
we had
did
a
I?
whole thing with
Ugh.
Peyton about acronyms. You learned any new ones?
Did I learn any acronyms? Yeah. Yeah, but it wasn't like a real acronym.
Oh.
Like it was an acronym for
can't-
the test.
Oh.
The test, they had a question where it was like list the order of what you should do to recover from a stall, and it was a bunch of things. And the guy thought of an acronym because the letter choices, it was don't be stupid, lower the nose. That was the acronym, and the first letter of the acronym was the order of what it needed to be in for the choices. So, I mean,
kinda.
we always find some stupid acronym to like somehow. But
Anyway, what'd you ask?
I was
I had
wanting to know
acronyms.
what the subjects were in the ground school.
we talked about leadership, which I thought was cool.
Basically, crew management, huh? Or how to work well with others. Basically,
yeah, it was more. It was more.
Don't be fighting your FO or
Yeah.
captain in the plane.
how to use, how to not,
How to drop kick somebody out of an airplane.
Yes.
Yes, that's a true leader there, if you ask me. Because I guess some people don't come into these airlines with leadership experience or have ever been in a leadership position. But I would think most of them do, because it's a lot of military guys. But I guess that's why they do it. It's kind of that transition for people, I guess, that maybe haven't had that leadership position, to try and teach them some qualities that leaders typically have. Talked about leadership, talked about CRM a bunch. I mean, that was probably one of the biggest things for it was CRM.
It's crew resource management.
Yep. Crew resource management. They talked about that a bunch because, they kind of know that one of the leading problems for some of these accidents were just FOs that were scared to speak up.
Yeah.
And they ended up letting the captain fly the plane into the ground and then killing everybody. So a big thing about they are super big on pointing out that everybody was responsible for safety, not just the captain. If something's happening, the FO needs to speak up.
I think me and you were talking about the one in Florida that crashed in the Everglades.
Yeah. Where they were dealing with the landing gear issue and they were slowly descending, and
It's two of the pilots recognized, like the flight engineer. And
the flight engineer and the co-pilot recognized that they were descending, and the captain just kept trying to
Wasn't
deal with it,
listening.
and
Yeah.
he just crashed it into the Everglades.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Crazy.
they were scared to not say anything, even though they were about to die, which is insane. A more real life example would be like you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and you recognize it and you say something about it, but then the captain goes, "No, we're fine," and continues. And you don't say anything because it's a captain that's got way more experience than you. He knows better. He knows what he's doing. I'm just going to stand by and watch. You can't just stand by, even if safety's being compromised, somebody has to step up and say something. Whether it's the captain or the FO, somebody has to say something. That's why they implement a lot of the rules that they do. A rule that they have is it doesn't matter who says it. If someone says go around, you do not question it. You go around. It doesn't matter if it was the FO that says it. If the FO says go around, captain goes around.
Yeah.
And then you'll talk about it after.
Well, it sounds like that's part of the point of having that many people that, because just one person, it's like triple checking something.
Yeah. And it's good for us because we don't have a lot of CRM.
No, we're all single pilot.
Yeah. And we're honestly doing the opposite of them. We're doing SRM.
Yeah.
And single pilot resource management.
Yeah.
And trying to teach these people how to fly the plane by themselves. And essentially you're doing the same thing because you're using your resources outside of the plane and in the plane to fly the plane by yourself. But now crew resource management is just having another person and doing the same thing.
Learning how to do it with more people.
Yes. Yeah. It's the same thing. Still using all your resources, using weather, using ATC.
Yeah.
But now you don't just have weather and ATC. You got another person there that can do that stuff for you. There's ways to implement it in our single pilot.
Do you relegate, divvy out what people do? Or does everybody do everything and double check each other?
Well, it depends on what the captain says,
Okay.
from what I've understood. And from what I understood, a lot of the times the captain is going to take himself out of the situation
And let
So-
y'all do everything?
so he can figure out what's going on. So like from what I've understood, a lot of the time, from what the class taught us, is the captain a lot of the time is going to hand the controls to the first officer and say, fly the plane.
So he can go figure out.
So he can figure out the big picture
Yeah.
of what's going on with the airplane. And it could be different. It could be the captain says, hey, there's nothing we can do. I need to fly the plane and get us back. So he takes the controls and lets the FO figure it out. That's what happened with Sully. I mean, he was the captain. Something wrong happened, and he lost both engines and said, hey, I'm flying it. And he flew it and let the FO.
Did they talk about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed that one.
Is
And
that
that was.
is that the monster from Monsters Inc.
That's the guy. Who, no.
Yes.
Or the singer from Godsmack?
It's the guy that landed in the Hudson.
Oh,
Everybody survived.
216
It was
passengers and everybody survived.
Oh.
Yep. Amazing.
Crashed into the Hudson, everybody survived. He did everything perfect. That's what he did. When they went through the thing with him, and the NTSB was trying to blame him for it. I mean, they literally for doing
crashing?
it. Yeah, they blamed him. They were like, you could have made it back to a bunch of places.
Yeah. There's a movie on it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Sully.
Sully.
Oh,
Tom Hanks is the
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
How have I missed this?
very good movie.
I'm gonna check it
Very
out.
good. It's like
But they go through all that where the NTSBs.
if
Like-
you listen to the cockpit voice recording of the crash, when they do it in the movie, it is dead on exactly from the cockpit voice recording.
That's crazy.
And it's really good. So
they were mad that he landed in the Hudson,
yeah, because they said,
even though everybody survived.
so originally they did the simulator and they said, hey, 2 engine fails, okay, turning back immediately to the airport and landing. And they were like, these guys in the simulator landed every single time. How did you not make it back? Well, he was like, well, they knew exactly what was going to happen.
They've done it more
He
than
was
once.
He was
Yes.
like, this, up until then, there was never a dual engine failure in airline history. Like there wasn't, that never happened. And then that happened to him. And he was like, what did you expect me to do? Just turn around casually and go back to
Hey guys, we
Teterboro?
have no more engines. I'm gonna turn around and
So they eventually came up with the thing, hey, delay it for 30 seconds and then see what happens.
Well, you had that short time where you're trying to figure out what just happened.
Yeah, you got the oh crap effect. Yeah, of what just happened. And honestly, he probably did it as fast as you could. And then they even looked at it too. He went out of order from the checklist because he knew what he should have done. And I think they said something about him turning on the APU did something beneficial for him. And he skipped, like it was like the 8th or 9th thing on the checklist. That was the first thing that he did.
Was it the
And
APU? Huh?
yeah, and
Interesting.
there was a bunch of things that he did that they ended up finding out was like, yeah, that was like,
this dude's just a genius.
yeah. I mean, I think when they did it, he had like 35,000 hours or like 40,000 hours because he was he flew in the Navy or Air Force, one of those, and then started flying for the airlines after, and like a wealth of experience. And then the FO helped
Crazy.
too.
So he has to do this to get his ATP written done.
Gotcha.
So
you have to.
Yes, you have to.
You cannot. It is your endorsement to take the written. When I showed up to take my written, they said, "Where's your ATP CTP certification?"
Yeah. Back in my day,
Old man Ryan.
old man, you didn't have to do the ATP CTP.
Gotcha.
So you just go take your written, and I don't even think you needed to sign off. I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably
Ryan just started flying planes.
Yeah, yeah. And then you
Back
go
in his
take your
day,
check ride.
you find an airplane with the keys in it. You just
That's
get in it
right.
and go.
You just take it. It's yours.
After 30
Right.
days, it's your squatter's rights.
Squatters' rights on this Lear.
Yeah.
Well, nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Jeez. And a lot of the times, people, like, if you get hired by a company, they'll pay for it, for you to do it. But hiring's so bad right now that people are paying for it. But yeah, no, leadership, checklist usage.
Like, use it.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought it was going to be a pretty stupid class, but it wasn't.
that was its own class.
Yes,
Oh.
it was its own chapter or something like that, like its own class, and it was a little bit more in depth than I thought it was going to be because the airlines, and probably too because of the flying in a crew,
Yeah.
there's like 4 different types of checklists, where it's like one where you just do it yourself silently. There's one where you say it and the captain verifies, and they taught something like point and shoot. And he's like, a lot of people,
I've never heard of the point and shoot.
Point and shoot. It's like point, and it's they basically will say like, oh, this needs to be done. Yep, on. Okay, this needs to be done. Yep, on.
Okay.
And it's the point and shoot. They're pointing at everything that they're reading on the checklist and verifying.
Yeah, we always just did, whenever gear, down 3 green. And just the response, somebody would call out what it is on the checklist, and then the other person would respond with down 3 green, or whatever.
And that was the main one we did. Like when we were doing takeoffs, they taught us the whole,
V1.
thrust power set, V1, rotate, positive rate, gear up, all that stuff. So,
yeah, I remember all that.
Yep. But we did all that. The checklist usage was really good. I guess and of course they showed a crash video about why using a checklist can make you crash, obviously.
Here's something you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
Crash
That's
video.
why it's so important to follow your checklist.
Yeah. It's like we've made videos about that.
Yes. I feel like we've talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't, especially if you're doing it for a career.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing it for a career and your end goal is to go to an airline or a 135 that you want to work at for the rest of your life, you're gonna have to do it.
Well, especially if you're doing it with other people's lives at stake.
Yeah, like they're gonna force you to do it. Like you're gonna fail a check ride if you don't do checklist the right way. So I mean, you're gonna have to do it. You might as well start now. It was a checklist, and I mean there was a bunch of stuff. Those are the ones that are sticking out to me. Aerodynamics. Of a airplane.
High altitude.
Aerodynamics of a jet. Talking about mock tucks and
mock tucks.
Yep, a mock tuck.
You hadn't heard about that mock tuck?
I don't know. It sounds like a really cool outfit.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Like a mock tuck. Oh, he's got the mock tuck.
Oh. Yeah.
No, you got the front tuck, the back tuck,
and the mock tuck.
Well, I never knew what it was. I mean, I knew what it was, but I didn't understand it.
What is it?
I couldn't.
Still don't understand it.
I understand it, but I can't explain it well enough. Essentially, it's when you're going too fast and you...
Mach.
Yes. Well, it's actually lower than Mach 1.
You have to do like opposite controls.
It's... What happens is you're going
like you're
so fast...
Skidding in a car?
Yeah.
Turn the opposite way?
Yeah.
You're going so fast that what happens is certain parts of your airplane break the sound barrier and send shock waves past your horizontal stabilizer or your vertical stabilizer that disrupts the flow of air over those.
So it like skips whatever it should
Correct.
be helping
and
the
it
plane.
disturbs it, so it starts to... That's what a mock tuck is. So it sends these shock waves that disrupt the flow of air over the control surfaces, and it starts to do all kind of crazy
Weird stuff,
oscillation
yes.
stuff. It makes it go crazy. So that's why you can't go too fast when you're up there.
Don't go too fast.
Yeah, you can't go too fast. And that was one of the things I learned. I didn't realize that like as you go
that
up,
you can go too fast.
yeah, that you can go too fast and you can obviously go too slow. But you would think that it's a big margin whenever it's not. When you get up that altitude, it's about 50 knots of margin. Yeah, it's about 50 knots.
So you just really got to pay attention.
Yeah.
That's what, so the Lear 45 will go up to 51, and I never went to 51.
Yeah,
The highest I went to
crazy.
47, but they say that the guys that did go to 51, it's really
47
close.
still.
Yeah.
47's high as crap.
Yeah, well, to get to 51, it has to be the right temperature. You have to be light.
So you're like, screw that. I'll stay
I was
here.
like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to try to stall the plane to get up to 51.
So you're not one of those people that's like, oh, my car can go 200. Let me see how close to
no.
it I can go.
I'm good. Some people wanted to go up that high so they could get the pin, so.
There's
you
a
could
pin?
Say, there's like a pin saying you went to 51,000.
That's why they have a max altitude on those jets, is because you'll get to a certain point to where your MMO speed and your stall speed are
Mashed together.
yeah, and you can't. So you're either going to stall or go too fast. So you have no room to wiggle, essentially. So I didn't know that. Learned a bunch of stuff about that. And then they talked about engines, which definitely didn't know anything about that. But felt like after
turbine engines.
You didn't know anything about engines?
about turbine engines.
No.
Yeah. They say the whole class that it's not made for you to study for the test. But like to me it kind of helped. Like there were some things that I just didn't understand.
It's not made for you to study. Oh, you don't use the class to study for the test.
No,
Gotcha.
it's not to study for the test, but it clarified a lot of things on the test that I didn't understand. So like the test talks a lot about MMO and it talks a lot about N1 and N2.
That's engines.
For the engines.
ITT.
Yeah. And I didn't know any. I mean, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about
Yeah.
But after taking the class and them having the pictures of the jets and showing, what N1 is and what N2 is and how they work, answering those questions on the test make a whole lot more sense whenever they're asking you, what is the N2? And you can say, oh, it's the high compressor.
Spinny thing.
Yeah.
What was that, Brennan?
The high compressor part of the jet engine.
Yes.
But yeah, we learned. It clarified a lot of stuff for me to take the test.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Like instead of just studying, you get to experience it.
Yeah. So it was cool. We
You passed
obviously,
the test?
huh? Yeah, I took the test.
Hopefully. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I made a 96 Shepherd Air, guys.
What questions you missed?
I didn't even look because I was pissed. I was mad, but it's okay. 96 is okay.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm like one.
You'll
of
be
those.
fine.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm one of those guys.
Some people don't want to get it right away or don't want to go do the course because if they get a job somewhere that might pay or airline might pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
why they
But
wait.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because if you get hired, they'll just send you and you don't have to spend it.
But you still have to do it anyway.
But you still have to do it. Yeah. It's just not your money,
Right.
which, due credit, it is expensive. It's $4,500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a cheap course, but the way things are right now, I'd say it's probably pretty safe.
You said
to say.
once you did it though, you got a bunch of
No, I started getting a
response
lot
back.
more responses from places that didn't even give me the time of day.
Yeah.
As soon as I got my written done. When I got my
Did you
written done,
resend them something? Or
yeah, I
okay.
resent my application to all the places that I'd been sending applications to and got like things that I hadn't been getting or activity from these places asking me to fill out personality surveys and figuring out more about my application and looking into it more. So
About what
it's-
percentage would you say,
of what?
like compared to your first round of sending out?
0 to some. 0 activity to I've applied to probably, I can't tell you how many places I've applied to, but
40.
gotten
Ryan's
yeah.
been tracking.
Yeah,
40. It's exactly
A bunch.
40.
It's
a,
40.
a bunch, and I've gotten activity from 4 or 5 places now, so it's way better.
So it's like, so what you're saying is, I don't care how many. It went from 0 to some.
yes,
So
Way-
it's worth
way
it
better,
to spend the
yeah.
$4,000 in that case.
yeah. For
If you're trying to find a job pretty quickly.
It was definitely worth it. I think I got it done. I got the written out the way.
But it
And
sounds like you feel more confident in it too.
I think more it was like it kind of pumped me up. Like I was ready. It was so much fun, like getting in the simulator and doing that training. Like I forgot how fun it was to learn new stuff.
Yeah.
And like private pilot stuff, like that was awesome. That stuff was so fun. And then you get in the simulator and you start doing new stuff again in a cool simulator too at that. And you're like, man, this is awesome. Like I can't wait to do this. So it just kind of lights a fire under you and you're ready to go and get it done. And then you've progressed a little bit too,
Yeah.
as far as like things you need to be doing. So now it's like, well, I'm one step closer to
Yeah.
where I want to be. And it was fun. It was a good time. I liked it. Some people said it went too fast and they were talking too quick and they couldn't really learn this. I was like, well, I don't think those people are there trying to train you to fly A320.
Yeah.
They're training you to get your ATP CTP done. So take in what you can. You're not going to learn everything right away.
Well, and you'll see it again. It's all the same. Once you get like all the jets all kind of work the same. They all have kind of the same systems.
yeah.
So even though you might go to a different jet, that jet might have a little bit difference, but it's not much. It still kind of works the same.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, when you get in a full motion simulator?
We need a bigger building.
$25 million.
That's
Yes.
it?
That's it.
We're going to have to run. That's why they run it 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
To pay for that thing.
Yeah.
Takes 6 years and 24 hours.
Yes.
One of the instructors said that he thinks the sim costs more than the actual plane does.
I mean, that honestly might make sense
Yeah.
because it's got a.
But you can do so much in that sim that you can't do in an airplane. You know, like, I mean, cutting
Literally.
engines, chopping engines, whatever.
Actual emergencies.
Yes.
High altitude stalls.
And it's supposed to react just like the plane would react.
Those planes are crazy.
Yeah.
A320 won't let you stall. Won't let you.
Won't let the pilot stall it.
Won't let you.
What happens?
It's a robot.
It just stops.
It's just
So-
like, nah, that you're doing this wrong. Let me
Yep,
let
the
me take
computer
over.
says nope.
So one of the maneuvers that we did was, I forgot about this, was terrain avoidance. And he turned us into a mountain with us being a
You turned into a mountain?
turned towards a mountain. And
We didn't hit the mountain.
I'm sorry. I thought like you went from being a plane to being a
He
mountain.
transitioned. It was like a transformer into a mountain.
identify as a mountain.
Yeah.
Mount Everest to be specific.
I was like, those planes really can do everything.
Wow. But no.
Anyway, turn towards a mountain.
He turned us towards a mountain, and one of the things that we had to do was, it was your escape maneuver or something like that. So you go to take off power, and in the A320, he said, just pull it back all the way. So you pull the back on the stick as far as it goes, and the plane just kind of stops it right before the stall, and it just says, okay, I can't go anymore, and it just holds it there the entire time, and you hold it back until it gets above, until there's no more green, pretty much is what he said. You get away from the terrain, and then once you do that, you can level off, and yeah, it's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
The airplanes are wild.
So I need to get one?
Yeah.
We're gonna need a
A320
bigger
sim.
building.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll fit in this room.
No, that's the only problem.
Yes, it is.
That sim is probably the size of this room.
Yeah.
Probably bigger than the size
I
of
would
this
say,
room.
yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah, I would assume you couldn't fit it in here.
It's got hydraulics and everything.
Yeah.
So it moves and
It's
stuff.
up. Yeah.
Ups and downs. It's funny to watch them whenever, like on the outside, when you see people.
Because the whole thing is just
Yeah,
like,
when you see it start jerking around, it's like, oh, he messed up.
I was just about to say that. You can watch it from the outside. And you're like, dang, that guy's messing that up bad.
That's right. Yeah, that's just
What are they doing in there?
Yeah.
He actually told us a funny story about it. He said on the unusual attitude where he put us at 140, the sim instructor, we messed it up and I turned the wrong way because the attitude indicators are different.
Yeah.
They don't, in our plane, the attitude indicator basically does this and it'll move, and this part is you. Like this is your nose, right? But in the attitude indicator in the plane, the top moves.
Gotcha.
And so it's backwards. And so I looked at it
inverted.
and I turned the opposite way and I made it worse the first time.
Because you just kept going.
And we crashed Well, it was an initial and I was like, oh crap. And I turned back the other way, but it was too late.
What altitude were y'all doing those?
35,000.
Oh, okay.
About,
You had plenty of
what,
altitude.
it's about,
Just
5 or 6 feet?
broke a wing off or something.
about. We only lost a couple feet.
Broke a wing off or something.
Yeah, no, for the first time for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I turned the wrong way. He was like, don't worry about it. He was like, I'm gonna tell you this because I flew gyro attitudes my whole career up until I got to the airlines.
Oh, wow.
So I did the same thing you did.
Oh.
He was like, but it was hilarious, my story. So he starts explaining. He said he's got this like 60-year-old Czech pilot in the back who's like watching them. He was just stopping in. So he came in and watched and whatnot, and he turned the wrong way. Well, the guy like flew and hit the wall and got like pinned down on something. He was like, shut it off! Shut it off! He was like, mine was way worse.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't even supposed to be in there.
No.
Shut it off.
Shut it off! Turn it off! He was like pinned down and he couldn't
there's
get
like
up
a
or something.
safety off.
That's what he was saying. He was like, switch it off! Switch it off! So, yeah, he said his was way worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, full motion sims are fun. So get your ATP CTP.
Yeah, get your ATP CTP.
Yeah, get your ATP CTP, dude.
That was close. It was it.
ATP
Yeah, get your ABCDEFG.
ATP
ATP
CTP.
CTP.
XYZ
ATP
LMNOP.
CTP. ATP CTP. ATP CTP. ATP CTP. ATP CTP.
ATP.
Flight Tales, woo-woo.
If you've made it this far, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, we would just like to say thank you, and we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about today's episode or suggestions for future episodes, just leave a comment or message us, and we'll do our best to answer. If you'd like to check out some fun aviation videos, check out our YouTube channel at Owens Flight Training. Or if you'd like to get more information on becoming a safe, knowledgeable, and confident pilot, just head over to our website, owensflighttraining.com.